Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Beth Traverso. How you doing, Beth?
Hi, I'm doing great, Mike. Thanks so much for having me back here for another video.
Yeah, we're going to talk about goal setting. We're also going to give Tom Ferry a shout out. Tom, we got to have you back on the channel. I think I interviewed you 2.5 years ago, actually pre-pandemic. So that's been a long time. But yes, he actually was nice enough to send me a selfie with him holding the one rental at a time book.
Oh
So
my gosh, I love
yeah,
that.
yeah, I'll find it and forward it to you. Tom's a wonderful guy. He's doing a
Yes.
lot of stuff on Instagram now, and just telling people to get ready in goal setting. I know you are.
Yeah.
I know he's a coach of yours. So why don't you talk about goal setting, doing it right, and some things that Tom has to say.
Right. So now's the time when people are thinking about their goals for the coming year. There's couple things I want to talk about that, and also reflecting back on what we achieved for our goals this year and kind of my thinking around that. But as far as setting goals for 2023 or ever, or whatever time frame you're setting it for, it's important to be to say smart about it. There's an acronym, SMART, SMART, for you. If you're going to make a goal and you want it to be achievable, there needs to be certain components in place.
Okay.
So it needs to be specific. Instead of saying like I want to lose weight or I want to learn, we make it appropriate to this conversation. I want to start investing in real estate in 2023. That's not specific.
No.
How do you know if you achieved that goal or you didn't? It has to be very specific. I want to purchase my first rental property in 2023. That's a specific goal. And
Yeah.
then measurable. How do you measure whether you've achieved that goal or not? You have to be able to say definitively, yes, I did it, or no, I didn't. So, in real estate, it's easy. I would say you show here's the recorded deed. I purchased my first rental property. There you go. I got the postcard from Mike Zuber, and now it's official.
Or if it's your first one, you get the golden ticket.
Yeah, you get the golden ticket, which is even better and more special. So hang that on your wall with pride. I know you'll be handing out a lot of those next year. So that's exciting. It needs to be achievable. It needs to be something that your brain can realistically wrap itself around. Otherwise, it feels so big that it's just too hard to even, it's like, how do you eat an elephant kind of a thing? It's just too much. And I'm a big fan of people like Grant Cardone and people like that, like 10x, just do go, 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 go. But I don't know if you're not Grant Cardone and you're more like the rest of us, we need something more realistic,
Mhm.
So we need something that's like, instead of saying I've never bought a house before, I'm gonna buy 30 this next year, 30 properties. Like,
Uh,
and you might fail and buy 10 and that would still be amazing, but or it
yeah,
might just be too overwhelming and you just stop because you don't know what to do. So people who
exactly.
study these things say it's better to make sure it's an achievable goal. So like saying I'm going to buy my first property in 2023 or by May of 2023 or whatever your time frame is that you specifically set. So it
Okay.
needs to be something that you can achieve. So, let's just keep it like my first property.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then it needs to be relevant. And that one's a little more hard to, immediately know what that means. But basically you don't want your goal for buying a first house to be contradictory to another goal that you have. Because you have two goals that are working against each other, you're probably not going to have success with either one of those goals.
Mhm.
And then it needs to be time sensitive or time bound. Like you need to have a time frame on it. By when, how much, by when, measurable, trackable.
Yeah.
Here's what we're doing. So, it's just real simple just to use that. If you're working through your goals, make sure you just use that SMART acronym. You can even Google it. It's not like I
Mhm.
made that up or anything. I'm not that
No,
clever, but you
it's
can
out
just
there.
like Tom says, the R&D, rip off and duplicate. Somebody else came up with that, to make it like a way that you can easily apply that to your own scenario. And I think it's good to make more goals in all different areas of your life. Like for me, I have like real estate investing goals. I have my real estate sales goals. I have my family goals. I have my relationship goals. There's all sorts of goals that people may have, and I would say don't neglect those other areas of your life too.
Mhm. Yeah, when I think about goals, I think all of that's dead. I think there's two more things that I would highlight, and we will actually do this in video number 3 today. First is you need to share them, in my opinion. I think at least for me, and maybe this is just a me thing, like when I sit in my little quiet space and make my goals, I feel them, but they become something when I share them because I become accountable to more people,
You're right.
right? So
Accountability is a huge part of it because you need to have you can help others and others can help you just by Yeah, it's up there, it's visual, everyone knows it.
They
Then
ask you about it.
how are you doing on that? Like,
Yeah.
like my coach through the Tom Ferry organization, I talk to him every Wednesday, and he's like, he gives me tasks to do every week, and then every quarter we review, and it's we're tracking all the metrics as we go. And you can reverse engineer it too. Like, you can go, okay, I want to buy my first property by May 15th, just to say, or be under contract. And you can break it down to like, well, I don't know how to do that. Okay, well, then you can reverse engineer that back. Like, well, what do I need to do the step before that? And then the step before that, and the step before that. And it might come down to like, here's 3 tasks I need to do today. Simple, big or little, or little tasks that lead to bigger tasks. Here's some things I need to learn about. Here's somebody I want to meet. Here's somebody that I want to listen to. I'm going to listen to positive content today that's going to help me get where I need to be, and I'm going to turn off all the other noise. I think that's an important, or whatever your little goals, smaller goals are, they help you lead to your bigger goals. I'm going to go to a networking event and I'm going to meet 5 people. I'm going to come from it from a attitude of abundance and helpfulness,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. And then the last thing for me is you have to track them. I
Mm-hmm.
think a goal put out there, even a goal shared, but if it's not tracked, like if your goal is to buy something by May, but you haven't reverse engineered, it very quickly becomes impossible, and you've really given up on it.
Yeah.
So
So how do you know by February 20th if you're on track for your May goal? And if you're tracking your day, it's very easy for you. What you've done is you can just say, hey, here's the work I did every day. I checked the box, That's a
do I
way to
have a buy
track.
box? Did I look? Did I
Yeah.
know? Do I know average? Do I know great? Did I write an offer? Because one of the things that I want to make very clear for folks is in my world of one rental at a time, or what I teach, I want to celebrate you writing the first great offer.
Yeah.
That's a win. I can't force a seller to say yes, but when you can confidently put pen to paper and say, I offered 118.5, even though it's listed at 139 or whatever the numbers are,
Mm-hmm.
because it works for me, that is gargantuan. That hurdle you jump for that is awesome. It needs to be and then if the buyer says yes or seller says yes, all the better. But writing a great offer is what I want to celebrate.
Yeah. And that is a big milestone too, because there's all the things you got to do to prepare yourself to get to that point. All the work you got to do, all the,
And I want to stress the
finance.
word great. Writing an offer, anybody can do that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you can't tell Beth or I what average is for your buy box, you're not qualified to write an offer.
True.
Until you can articulate average, it doesn't matter. That's what I teach and talk about, right?
100% agree. Yes. So yeah, you're right. Trackable, accountability, those are the things. Another thing I want to say is like, if you're looking back at what happened this year, and if somebody's thinking like, well, gosh, I wanted to do that thing and I didn't do it, find ways to be grateful for what you did accomplish, because even if you didn't accomplish your big goal, I'm sure you made some strides in some areas that did help move you forward. And so we're looking for progress, not perfection, and almost nobody hits all their goals all the time, and I don't care who you are. So
Yeah.
it don't get too hung up on that to the point of like, well, that didn't work and just, I guess I'm not going to do that anymore. It's like, just no, write down some of the positive things you did. I think writing it down does help, and focus on being grateful for the things that you did learn. And maybe you hit some challenges that were hard, and that's a good thing too. So think about what you learned through those challenges, and then how you can adjust to do things with a better outcome this time. Because there's nobody out there that hasn't failed to achieve their goals and multiple times,
Yeah.
so it's just part of the process.
Yeah, I would really second that. One of the things, a couple of things I'm proud of in my career was I took 3 products from 0 to $100 million, which is not many people have done it once, let alone 3 times. And one thing that I, in hindsight, realized was I don't know, a mistake, I guess, is I always focused on the things I didn't achieve, where I should have given myself credit.
Yeah.
And I used it as fuel, but most people, that attitude will destroy you. I just happen to get lucky where I'm broken enough where I kept moving forward, but that's not the right way for most
Some
people.
people that's motivating. For me, it isn't, and
Right.
like we talked about,
Celebrate the wins.
that's
Yeah.
a big thing that you did, multiple times, and like not many people can do that, and that deserves to be celebrated. And give yourself a pat on the, let yourself feel good about the things that you did, and for some people, they do get motivated by what they didn't do, and it taps into the competitive thing. And it's also important to know what motivates you. Because for me, so, we started this out talking about coaching a little bit, and I went through some other coaches before I found the Tom Ferry organization. And I had one that wanted to yell at me like a drill sergeant, and just how I'm made up, that doesn't work for me. Like, if you're going to attack me by telling me I'm not doing enough when I know I'm an extraordinarily hardworking person, raising little kids and doing all this stuff, and it's like, you're going to tell me I'm not doing enough, that is not going to make me do anything other than dislike you strongly.
Run away from you. Yeah.
Not more, but some people want that drill sergeant to
Some
give
people,
a swift kick, and that's what they need, and that's fine. That's the fit for that person. Know what motivates you. For me, it's like, I need the cheerleader who's like, you're doing great. Look what you did, and look what you're doing. Keep doing these things,
a
and
little tweak over here, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah. Yeah.
taking time to look what you accomplished here, and let's.
Yeah, I agree.
So for me, that motivates me. But for some
I
people,
would say for most people, and again, a failure of mine, I'm just broken that way. You have to. There are so many great things that you've accomplished. Celebrate that first, then
yeah.
tweak. Stop focusing on the 3 things that you missed, because for most of you that will not work. So
yeah, focusing on
totally agree.
on the negative things, almost, what you focus on expands, and if you're focusing on the bad things, that is going to expand. If you focus on the good things, and that is going to expand. So just be careful where you put your attention.
Very well said. So in video number 3, I'm going to share with you my 2023 goals, because I'm different. I set them up on December 1st, because what's magical about January 1st? So you're going to see my goals and see where we're at. We'll see how I did on this.
You don't have to wait for January 1st to set a goal, people. You can do it any day of the year. So
yeah, December 13th sounds like a great day to start.
Right.
Beth, where can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me on my website, bethtraversogroup.com, or in the Facebook groups, or on Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you so much.